I would just like to apologize. This is our first episode back after a long break, and unfortunately, the audio did screw up in some way. I don't know how. It was fine on the test before we recorded the episode, but the audio's kind of doubled in pace. I have tried to fix this. I don't know how. I apologize. I hope it is enjoyable nevertheless, and hopefully the next episode will be completely fine. I apologize once again.
Welcome back. Make sure your grandma's interpolated.
Welcome to Gappy Longstocking, a podcast about podcasts with large gaps between episodes. Is your grandma interpolated?
I did not miss this show. I'm gonna say that right now.
It's something about, the problem, the thing about the first season, and to a degree the second season of Around the Twist, is there was a genuineness to it. This now that everything's changed, all different actors and stuff, it feels like actors playing around Twist characters. Whereas the first season, it looked like genuinely frightened children, which I think is important.
I think a lot of the scenarios aren't frightening anymore. They're more...
It's getting into that, like, Twilight Zone quality.
Plus, after 3 seasons, the characters are still like, oh, this can't be. And I was like... You have a history.
Yeah, that is a personal pet peeve. Because, this has ever felt like this. I'm Gabriel.
I'm Amber.
And this, what was this episode called again? Because I keep getting it.
Truth hits everybody.
Right, so it's not truth, it's everyone.
No.
Which isn't a phrase. This show tries to act like that's some common phrase. And it is not.
No.
It's
really not.
Just wasn't important around her.
Of course. We need to go there one day. We need to go there and film the final episode there.
I agree. I will record out front the fucking lighthouse.
Yep.
This one didn't, I don't know. Just in general, even the Amazon Prime section for this feels lazier. There's no episode-specific thumbnails anymore. There's, no sort of, cold open bit. The subtitles are hysterically out.
It's getting worse.
Yeah, no, definitely. This isn't even a bad AI job. This is the shit that they had before that.
This is when YouTube first introduced closed captions that auto-analyze your video. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, this episode starts with a reporter and a news crew. And lots of thunder.
And whatever the big light that ABC had around just flickering on and off. Because it wasn't, because the news crew, there's 3 guys there, the reporter who's dressed in a safari suit for some reason. And ostensibly a big storm. But I suppose they just couldn't be bothered waiting until there was bad weather or something to really film it. So I think it was a cloud. And trying to film from up on high so you don't really notice that the weather's fine. And then, in lieu of lightning, there's just a flashbulb going off.
It's bad.
Kind of just dink, 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 dink.
And then they get hit by lightning and disappear.
Yeah.
And we get a Port Narenta Gazette.
The old swirling newspaper bit.
It says truth hits everybody.
It's such a weird mishmash of ideas.
This episode was not well thought out.
Why are we doing this way? Is kind of why I was thinking what I was thinking the entire time. I think I started out, when the episode, before we even started, and I'm going to quote you here, I wonder what this show would be like with motion enhancement. So I've been mentally preparing myself to see this in that frightening artificial 60 FPS they put it on at your mum's house to upset you.
Yeah.
Part of me does.
It might be better. It might be worse.
I feel like it'll be worse, but in a way that's dynamic and interesting. It might be like meeting an eldritch horror. It'll be worse in that sense. I'll be scarred for life, but I'll have a story. I met a fish guy called Throckmorton.
This episode opens with Bronson being sick on the couch.
Yeah,
and
sick.
Faye wondering if she should stay home. Tony's like, nah, just go. Get out. Get away from Bronson.
He's fucking faking.
And the kids running down the stairs, they're in a hurry to get to school. Because apparently there's a contest, and the winners get to be broadcast on cable television.
Yeah, it's funny because I kind of figured there'd be some sort of like new character in for like the cable TV person or something. But
There never was.
yeah, no, but for some reason, I
They
don't
just
know.
let the school run everything, which seems wildly wrong.
Yeah. I don't think they just let a school just tap into like a cable channel. I mean, I've watched that cable channel,
Well, absolutely.
but it's sort of emblematic of the episode in that there's a lot in it. More probably should have been in it. Like it all kind of hangs together, but there's just nonetheless feels like pieces missing.
Mm.
You know, like it's just like yeah, the school's gonna be fucking on live on cable TV for some reason, and it's like there's a competition, and it's like what even was the competition? Because in the end, the things that are on are like just did they win?
I think they're the only ones who showed up.
That's yeah. Good old cable. I wonder how that's going these days.
Yeah, we get a little glimpse that Bronson is faking it because Tony asks him if he wants any food. And he's like, I couldn't eat anything, but maybe the pizza from last night.
Yeah,
And it's like, Bronson,
I've caught you there.
naughty, naughty.
Liars get changed outside.
So the kids arrive at school. Fiona's still all over Pete because from previous, he read to her from the Viking Book of Love. She's got the magic spell on her.
I mean, look, credit where it's due. Their continuity is on point this season. Won't
Much
take that
better
away
than
from-
previous seasons.
Yeah.
And
I mean, granted, Fiona's like a blonde girl, not an Aboriginal girl, but like,
that's the worst part by far because it's like, oh, look, actual, Australian diversity as is. And then they're like, no, she's white now.
because
Like, what?
yeah, it's one thing if this was set at like a wealthy private school,
Yeah.
because I went to school across the road from a few of those, and they were like really fucking white. But I mean, this is like a shitty school in regional Australia, and that's where you find the most ethnicities.
But they also turned Nell into a Pearl Jam lesbian, so like we get a bit of both sides. You know?
Sitting out on the stoop in front of the fucking lighthouse, even flow.
You can see
Yeah.
it though, right? Like
Did I ever tell you kids when I was a roadie for AC/DC back when Bon Scott was still alive? Oh, those were the days.
And we find out that Gribble has basically got the presented dog.
Yeah,
And
because
they say, like, the kids call out that because Gribb's
his dad donated like, a
provided
bunch of AV equipment.
all the equipment, it's bullcrap. And then we get introduced actually to a new character,
Yeah.
which is wild because we don't get any really introduction. He's
No,
just
he's
there,
there, yeah.
and his name is Anth.
Yeah.
And I assume that's short for Anthony. Or
Maybe
maybe
it's
just
all
Anth.
for autism.
Maybe. Very early representation of autism.
Softer
And-
end of the spectrum, but still.
Because
He's
like
the smart kid.
Linda's like, oh, we should, get our own broadcasting equipment, do it ourselves. And Anth is like, he majorly Sheldons out with a speech about antiquated
Yeah.
equipment that he's collected.
Yeah, he bought. So this is where it like winds up weirdly connecting to the opening sequences. Anthony at a fucking garage sale bought the fucking newscaster equipment that was like made of lightning curses or something.
Yeah, he said that the crew got hit by lightning and they disappeared off the face of the earth. No one
Yeah.
ever saw them again. So that begs me the question: who walked along and was like, "Hey, equipment"?
Yeah. Like I imagine them just sitting down where the equipment was and just putting up a sign like saying for sale. Like well, it's not whatnot. I mean, I'd buy cursed television equipment. Don't get me wrong, but I mean,
Yeah.
I've been to a lot of garage sales, and I ain't ever seen like
Because he says the equipment's likely cursed,
yeah.
and everyone's like, okay. So Linda does a little run of interviewing Pete, and Linda being Linda, has been giving Pete grief about the fact that he has hypnotized Fiona, loving him with magic. Asks him, why is Fiona so into you?
Yeah, you guys are a pretty hot item. Why do you to what do you attribute your romantic success? That kind of deal.
Pete tries to talk and starts stumbling over his words and blurts out that she's only in love with him because she read from the Viking Book of Love. Pete gets really flustered and runs away
Yeah,
because He's just been exposed.
He just blurted out the whole
Fiona
thing.
doesn't care because love spell.
I know. So I was sitting there thinking, it's like, won't this not work because she's like under a love spell? Then
Yeah.
she's just like, man, he looks good on TV. And I was like, yep, there you go.
And Linda and Anth are like, oh, what happened? Do you think? And then Linda asks Anth the question, and he blurts out that her technique needs work, but she's the hottest thing he's seen since quantum physics.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, good lord.
So it's the fucking lasso of truth.
Yeah.
If you're asked a question into the microphone, due to lightning and journalism souls, I wanna guess, it's one of those ones where there's little to no. Some of the older episodes would be about the magical thing.
Yeah.
And
we
it's
get
like,
a
what the
little
fuck's
bit of
this
more
thing?
info
Yeah.
and focus.
Like the copycat hat, like
Yeah.
that had lore. Whereas this one's just like magic truth microphone. All right, let's go.
Yeah. Which, how? Why? Because they got struck by lightning and disappeared. How does that make truth microphone? Shouldn't the microphone make people disappear?
I know. Yeah, like that. Or get sucked into the TV or some shit. Like maybe that's where they were, Like they
Yeah.
got sucked into like the fucking AV equipment and been trapped in like this like, I don't know, TV cube for eons. Like I feel like that would work. But this is what I mean about like just kind of it's the core of the story feels like it's been kind of, had to be weirdly retrofitted to fit this, episode. Like it was written for something else. It was like those like fucking late Hellraiser movies where it's just like, all right, we have this fucking, Slovenian movie about cult. How are we gonna get fucking Pinhead to show up at the end? Which would make an excellent episode of Friend the Twist.
So we cut back to the lighthouse, and Fiona is there seeing off a fire truck, like one of the old school ones.
The little manual bell.
Yeah, it's not like a fire engine. It is literally a fire pickup truck.
It's a fire ute.
Yeah. And it turns out the Gribble is trying to close down the fire station.
And turn it into condos.
Yeah. Which is not a great idea.
Yeah, that... like stuff does get on fire. Particularly in Australia. Like I suppose you could just, I don't know, maybe run a hose from the ocean to like the center of town, and then everyone could just hook up to that hose or something. I mean, I don't know. I'm not like a civil engineer, but like that's the stepmom's thing is like trying to stop Gribble from closing down, the fucking fire department.
The thing that's kind of needed.
Yeah, he claims like he's getting away with it by saying he had an efficiency study done, and that the nearby town of Bigville, which I can't laugh too hard at because of the actual existence of Townsville.
I was about to say that, yes, but still, that is
Bigville.
a damn sitcom's name for a town.
How do you get to name towns? Because I'd name a place Bigville if I got half the chance.
Everyone in that better be big, like on Big Island in Mario Brothers.
Yeah, like a big and tall like man's store, but
Yeah.
for like a big and tall civilization.
Yeah.
Everything's made. Are you tired of having to crouch in the shower because you're some kind of cyclopean monstrosity?
And Linda has the microphone she's brought home, and she approaches Pete, and Pete is scared still.
Yeah, but then she says, I think this fucking microphone is, some kind of truth microphone. And Pete's like, doubts it. It's like, motherfucker.
You've seen a magic box that ages and de-ages people.
Yeah, you see shit, and you were the shit.
Yeah.
That happened, like, were you not you, like, 2 hours ago at school?
Yeah.
So,
To prove it, she goes over to Bronson, who's fed Dangles more stuff, because he's
Yeah.
getting a bowl of ice cream, because he says he needs something cold. How about ice cream? To which she's like, are you faking it, Bron? And he's like, yep, I'm faking it. Dad's easy to suck in. And to which Tony's like, motherfucker, face laughing.
I did like that because everyone else so far has, like, tried to resist telling the truth. There's always this sort of clear inner struggle and going,
Bronson was straight up, nah.
yeah, but he just
It's
was not paying
me.
attention. Yeah. Just, nah! I'm faking it.
So Tony takes the ice cream away from him. To To which Bronson runs away upstairs. He's angry at Linda. Goes into Linda's room and is like swearing revenge on her. Finds the Viking Book of Love and takes it. And the best part is he goes into the bathroom and reads it into the mirror.
Yeah.
And falls in love with himself.
Pedophilia.
Which is great. Because now he's in love with himself. But that also breaks a spell. Previous.
So it only... The Viking Book of Love is good for only one rape at a time.
Yeah. So,
It's very un-Viking, really.
So now Bronson's in love with himself. And on the way to school the next day, he's riding his bike, just looking in the mirror.
Like, this is a really, really, really good idea for a B story. Because it integrates with the A story overall. It takes care of Bronson, but in a way that just makes him basic comic relief. So it doesn't take any real energy out of anything else or whatever. It's just like, all right, we need some filler material. Let's get the 10-year-old child to rub his own face. Yeah, there we go. And then he crashes his bike because he's too busy gazing at himself.
And a dog runs across his path. And he says, I'm irresistible. Like, it's natural for the dog to want me. Which is wild. And they show up at school, and Pete's all, like, talking cutesy to Fiona, being like, oh, here's your kitty, Queenie.
Yeah.
And then she's like, you wish.
Does she
like,
not remember, like...
Probably not. I'd say it's part of the magic, maybe. But she just fobs him off. She's like, no. So, yeah, we get pretty much Linda using the power of the microphone for her own personal gain throughout this whole episode.
Yeah, so, like, as, the kids, like, the Twist kids and whatnot, they're setting up their, like, dinky Anthony AV setup, and Linda decides that she's gonna, interview Gribble, and, ask him, hey, like, how did you get the job as the cable broadcast? And, Gribble just calmly, like, spills the beans about how his dad basically, bought them with the, AV donation and then threatened Snapper, and it was really easy because Snapper's a big wuss and Snapper's lame, and Snapper's standing behind him, just getting more and more flustered as this whole thing goes on, and then he gets up and sprints out when he realizes what happened, and then Linda's just like, okay, Snapper, so we get to be on TV, right? And he's kind of just like, yep, you're all very professional, very good, yep. And then we cut to Bronson rubbing himself in the reflection of a drink can.
Yeah, it looked like an early solo or something.
Yeah, I didn't even recognize it.
It was probably fake. Like, the kind of brand.
RC Cola's RC Cola.
And this part felt really weird and off base to me, because we get Fiona and Pete, and they're bad-mouthing Linda behind her back.
Yeah, they're kind of saying, what's Linda's idea going to be? And it'll be like, oh, it'll be Save the Wombats or something. And they kind of just...
Wombats with guns.
Yeah.
And they're like, they basically say she's boring.
Yeah.
And Linda overhears this. And instead of, like, sticking up for herself, she does the thing that most people do in Cave. And be like, I'm going to be terrifying and not boring. And it's like, this is an odd part. Because we've never met Anth before, and he's bad-mouthing Linda, who he likes.
I mean, yeah, I do. Like, the thing is, they're not wrong, Like, it will be Save the Wombats.
Of course.
Or the fucking Scribbly Gum, or whatever, which the subtitles described as Squiggly Gun, which, I don't believe Linda was trying to save, I don't know,
No.
heavily armed wombats. Although I would like to see that.
Absolutely.
Now that I've mentioned it. And then, so, like, yeah, Fiona's like, all right, people want something entertaining, we'll, like, ask people stuff, and they'll have to tell the truth. And then Fiona says, you don't expect us to find some poor innocent slob and make fun of them on TV, do you? And I was like, that's the internet.
That's the internet, baby.
So then we get the montage.
This is a good bit. I enjoyed this bit because, like, she said, who we're going to get to interview because Gribble's probably told everyone by now.
Yeah.
And he has.
Yeah.
He's told the whole damn town.
Everyone knows the truth microphone exists.
Is the kids running at people
Yeah.
with the microphone and the camera, and everyone goes, ah, and running away. Which is
Like
great.
adults, old people business, like a guy running, like just like putting a, price sign up in front of his fucking shop. He freaks out, gallops inside. God only knows what
Turns
secrets
the
that
clock
man
sign
has.
from open to close.
Yeah.
Like, why is everyone afraid? What are they doing? This is a shady town.
Yeah. What do you do, Mr. Chip Shop? What do you fry when no one's around?
And so we get the twins walking home defeated that they couldn't really talk to anyone.
Yeah, nobody wants an interview with the mandatory truth microphone.
Which is crazy. Because what's Gribble told them? Hey, watch out for this girl. She has a microphone that makes you tell the truth. If someone told me that, I'd be like, excuse me?
Shut up. Fuck
You're a
off, you stupid
child.
kid.
Get away from me.
Whose stupid kid is this? The stupid. Like, I feel like there's, there'd be something in a more modern show about, like, the town, or at least the kids slowly realizing that the town has known about all this weird bullshit for, like, years.
They just put up with it.
Yeah, it's just like, look, the rent's cheap, and that's a big, cost of living is real low here, because, no one's charging big rent for, like, a place where sometimes there's just fucking, ghosts and shit.
And so, Faye's there. Again, talking about the fire station. I thought she was a teacher. She seems to have a lot of damn time on her hands.
I feel like a sub or
Maybe.
something. Yeah.
And she's setting up a petition to stop Gribble.
Actually, yeah, because she was a teacher in the first 2 seasons. So what is she now?
Well,
I don't even know
she's
if
still a
she-
teacher because at
Okay.
the start of the episode she was like, oh, maybe I should stay home from school.
Oh, that's right, yeah. I think we're just in the Homer section where just, like, if we need, fucking Faber doing
Well,
something
it's after
else,
school
just-
because the kids were trying to interview people.
I suppose, yeah. Oh, yeah, also it's a weird original school. So she might have a classroom with, like, just, like, 10 fucking kids in it.
Probably.
And then that's just fucking it. That's just what the level is this time around.
So, that's their idea. Linda's like, oh, we should expose Gribble.
Yeah.
And to which Pete's like, how? Gribble's not gonna...
Yeah, of all the people who are going to flee the truth microphone, Gribble will push us down, and Matron probably.
And so Linda's like, no, I have an idea. So they search for Bronson. She searches for Bronson because she knows. She already knows. Bronson took that damn book.
I was like, yeah, Bronson's horny for himself. That'll come out of trouble for like a good hour or two.
Find him in the bathroom, cradling the book, just looking lovingly into himself.
I still think about what it would be like to jerk off when you're actually aroused by
It's an
yourself.
endless loop. You'd have the energy of the Energized Bunny. You could just keep doing
Yeah.
it. So, yeah, Bronson's in the bathroom and she, like, takes the book off him, explains to Pete that he's fallen in love with himself. And that Pete's like, oh, that's why, Fiona, the spell's
Yeah.
broken. So we get a little bit of a detail that it only works one person at a time. And so the book is like the book is a major part. The book is probably the biggest player right now.
The book is in play. Like it's the most important character in this season.
So we cut to the school.
It's nighttime and everyone's
It's
like,
nighttime, and Gribble and Matron are excited for his TV
yeah, I still
interview because that's the way they get Gribble is they're gonna get James to do the interview.
is that how they're gonna get it?
That's originally what she says. Yeah.
Okay, because I couldn't figure out what I couldn't chart the plan in my head once it was over.
Yeah, Linda was like, I'm not doing the interview.
Yeah.
James is.
Right.
And Pete's like, how are you going to get James to ask the questions you need? He's like, oh, he's not actually going to be doing the interview. So we get like a little
Yeah, and I was like, huh?
a mishmash of like the stage setup, the kids who are dancers who are
Yeah.
arguing with each other.
This was where I got kind of confused because I expected like an actual news crew being like, "Hey, we're doing a thing at school, and we're gonna have a little segment with the kids."
No.
There's just cameras pointed at like what I can only describe as Australian television from 1955 to about 1980, where it's just like the shittiest, saddest little like talent show. There's always like little girls who do Celtic dancing, and there's a guy who's a ventriloquist. Because he probably found like some uncle's ventriloquist dummy somewhere at some point. He has a stutter too, so yeah.
And yeah, Anth is trying to get everything organized without having a major breakdown.
He's the director.
And he's got the puffy pants, the director pants,
Yodpers.
which is where did he get those?
What even are those for?
Where in Port Noranda sells it? I believe there's a shop that just sells that.
I feel
That's all
like
they sell.
I feel like if there was anywhere that was just gonna still have them on the rack, it'd be regional Australia.
And we get the plan.
Which is Fiona gets fucking Gribble Jr. Like, she's putting makeup on him for the fucking interview, and she says, you know, hey, have you done any diction work?
She's like, you look perfect for TV.
Yeah.
To which Gribble misunderstands. And he's like, so my head's square?
Yes.
And she's like, no, you've got the perfect look for TV. And he's like, ah. He's like, but your diction needs work. You're saying I don't talk good?
I was really hoping we were going for a dick joke here. I was like, you can't make a guy do a me-fail English joke off having to know the word diction. You know?
Mm.
Like, if me no talk good, me no don't know fucking diction in the word. Like, that's not. I'm gonna, like, you need help with your diction. It's just like, hey, it's a normal size. Like, that's the joke I was expecting.
To which
we didn't get it.
She's like, no, look, you just need work on your speech a bit. Here, this book will help you improve. Read lines into the mirror. To which he does. Falls in love with himself.
I mean, that is a weirdly good way to set up getting him to read a book into a mirror. Like, credit where it's due, that is, like, telling him to read a diction book, because you have to read it out loud.
Yeah.
Because otherwise it's not fucking working. It's just working in your brain.
And so, like, he's out of the equation now.
Yeah.
Because Matron comes up to him and was like, James, you ready? Blah, blah, blah. And he's just talking about himself. Like, he's just like, oh, James is a musical name.
I feel if that actually happened, there'd just be more masturbating,
Absolutely. And they're about to start the TV broadcast. And Snapper's an anxious one. He's racing the gun, and he keeps calling action early. And Amp is very upset about it.
Yeah, he
turns to Snapper's like, look, I'm the director. I do that. It starts calling 4, 3, 2, and Snapper's like, action!
Yeah, he calls action at 2, like a maniac. And then, for some reason, somewhere in Australia, there's a cable channel that's just showing, like, 3 sad girls doing Celtic dancing to the ethnic kids accordion.
No intro.
That's the best.
Because they go action and off the dance, and it's like, imagine you're just sitting there watching that, and that comes on.
Yeah, there's, like, Giancarlo's fucking, like, accordion, and the 3 little girls doing their fucking river dance, and I mean, it's Australia television. It could have been that for, like, 2 whole hours. Just until the little kid's fucking accordion fingers started bleeding.
This is the part that is kind of a little flighty here. And the fact that Gribble is standing there waiting for his interview. Which Linda kind of taunts him. She's like, are you ready for the interview? Blah, blah, blah. And he's like, oh, where's James? And she's like, I'm doing it. To which he's like, nah, dog, nah. And
just walks off.
Knocks over the microphone. The microphone breaks. So their whole linchpin of the plan is gone.
But even then, it's like, that's some fucking sleight of hand. Because, like, he was just not going to do the interview.
Yeah.
Like, I thought they were going to find a way of, like, I don't know.
I just wouldn't have told him. I would have just, when the interview came time, he's on stage.
Yeah, just
don't tell him.
It's Linda in a fucking Gribble Jr. wig or something.
That would be hilarious.
Yeah. Because, again, like, there are situations where the plan isn't what happens, but also it's not meant to be. Like, I got this a lot with, like, what was that? Winter Soldier, I think. No, Civil War. Where, like, people were sort of confused by, like, Baron Thingo's fucking plan and how long and convoluted it was.
Right.
And it's like, well, because that wasn't his plan.
Yeah.
His plan kept getting fucked up, so he kept having to fucking find ways to recover and change what the plan was. And, like, that can happen. But also, I don't know what the initial plan was and how it was supposed to work. Like, we're going to get Gribble in love with himself. Okay, and that makes it so he's not doing the interview. All right. And then, like what you said, that might have been better. Like, that could have been the plan. But then why was fucking Fiona just going, hey, I'm doing it. Ha, 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 fuck you. Because, again, even if he didn't knock the thing over or any of this, he could have just walked off. And like, once this happens, Linda gets Pete to get him back. And I thought maybe there'd be some relationship to something like maybe the fucking, I don't know, he was going to make Gribble fall in love with him with the fucking Viking books or do anything that, like, he wanted him to. I mean, look, probably some deeper issues with having a major plot point being adult man falling in romantic love with a 13-year-old boy.
Yeah.
But look, we already had Bronson fondling himself for like half of the episode, so...
The best part is because Snapper races up because he sees Gribble go away. And this is where the subtitles really go askew.
Yeah, no, I meant to pause it.
Because, like, I took photos of this. And Snapper, this is what the subtitles say. Did I just see Mr. Gribble race out of here like an ass on fire?
And what Snapper said was house.
House on fire.
Yeah.
But they wrote ass. A-S-S. Fantastic. And to which Linda hears fire. And she's like, oh, fire. Like, that's an idea. So she's got a twinkling of an idea there.
I still don't know what that was.
This was very disconnected. Very disconnected. Because we get Pete going outside to try to get Gribble back.
Yeah.
And he's like, you're on in like 2 minutes, Mr. Gribble. And he's like, no, I'm not doing it.
Yeah, because he's not fucking idiot.
He's like, so where do we send the tape? And he's like, tape? What tape? He's like, well, we've got a tape backstage.
Yeah, the thing is, he has to think for a second before he does this. So this isn't related to anything we've seen prior. Like, it's not like, oh yeah, this was the plan. This is something he has to come up with on fly.
Spinning it up. Yeah. And he's like, the camera pointed backstage that sees everything. And Gribble's like, yes, so? And he's like, well, we caught you picking your nose. And, racing off when you were waiting for your interview.
Yeah, and we'll broadcast that and make you look bad.
Yeah, and he's like, oh, I wasn't picking my nose, just scratching it. And he's like, well, either way,
I feel like it could have been him talking about, like, the condo or something. Like,
yeah.
Maybe a little more fucking related, but like, alright, fine. He's the town mayor or some shit. He doesn't want to be seen picking his nose.
So
you can buy that Gribble's pretty vain.
He sees face, and his face is contorting into a look of, I don't want to do this, but what choice do I have? Pete starts walking back inside, to which Gribble rushes up towards him and goes, get out of my way.
Yeah.
Walks in. And this is the part that really disconnects. Because Fiona comes outside and goes, Pete, take your shirt off. And Pete's like, oh, my magnetic twist personality. And she's like...
You don't have time for that.
She's like, no, just take your shirt off. And then she flicks the lighter. Major disconnect here. Because I feel, she's going to light his shirt on fire. And call the fire brigade.
Yeah.
Because it's going to take them more than 7 minutes, that Gribble said.
Yeah.
We go back inside. They finally cued the dancers to stop. Who knows how long they've been doing this for? Because they all look tired. They've had enough.
Those little girls can do that shit for like a half hour.
The accordion's called Bruno. Who names a child Bruno and gives them an accordion?
Italian immigrants.
I guess. So they rush.
First generation Italian immigrants.
They get him off stage and they're like, ventriloquist, come on. He's nervous as crap. Doesn't want to come on. He eventually does. The head of the dummy pops right off, and he's just got his hand coming through the body.
He goes, here's Linda, and runs
away.
Which, to be fair, that was funny.
Linda's already on stage, and they turn...
Yeah, she's got like a set called
Turn the set around, and she's there.
It's the cheapest fake Tonight shows I've ever seen, and that includes all the Super Pro Wrestling segments that were about fake Tonight shows. The Tom Green show, and I mean the proper Tom Green show that was on like Canadian public access, was a way nicer set than this.
Yeah.
And that was Tom Green.
So she starts off the interview with Gribble, and Gribble, off the bat, is super defensive. He's like, why are you grilling me with these incessant questions?
Well, and she said it's a nice night, and he uses this really circumspect language to talk about the definition of nice.
Yeah.
What you mean by that? It could to some be described as nice, yes. So he's using all the ways of blurring the truth.
And she immediately hits him with, hey, why are you shutting down the volunteer fire station? And you see Faye in the audience be like, yeah, bitch, grill him.
Yeah, that's right. Willed under the, questioning power of a 12-year-old girl.
And he's like, well, I've done an efficiency study. It's all in the study. You should read the study. The Bigville Fire Brigade will be here in 7 minutes if there's ever a fire.
Yeah.
To which Pete comes running in.
Somewhat singed.
And says, there's a fire.
Yeah, at the pizza stores, melted
Which,
cheese.
and this is the big disconnect. Because I assumed she'd light the shirt on fire outside, that everyone would know there's an actual fire.
Yeah, so that scene would be for anything other than Pete looking like he had soot on his face. And also, who cares?
He's still wearing his shirt.
Because the center of town is ages away.
Yeah.
It's the center of town. It's not where the school
They're
is.
like, yeah, no, the pizza place is a fire. But like, the pizza place, my office is next to there.
Yeah.
I mean, he first starts freaking out, and he's like, call the CFA, call this, and Linda goes, call the Big Bill Fire Brigade. And Gribble's like, no, they'll take half an hour to get here at this time of night at least. And then you see his face go, oh no, I've been got.
Damn you, 12-year-old girl.
And he's like, there's no fire, is there? And it's like, well, there was supposed to be, because there was a lighter and a shirt. That annoyed me.
Like, what happened? Like, what was the original plan? Like, what if the fucking microphone hadn't been, because Fiona was coming out to get that shit, to get fucking Pete shut off before, like, half of this other shit had happened. So was that always the fucking plan? Was to, like,
I don't know.
just get him to confess regularly? You don't need the fucking microphone? Because, I mean, I still, if I were any of them, I'd have been, let's make him fall in love with Pete. Not Bronson, because Pete can outrun him.
So yeah, it was disconnect. So then he tries to recover, saying that, the documentation proves that, even though he just said, and he's like, he goes off stage, he's like, I've got it right here, gets it from Matron, he's like, if this is false, lightning struck me down, and a light falls on it.
Yeah, the lighting rig hits him.
Lightning rig hits him, which is kind of what he said.
I mean, it's like, okay, like, it's funny, that's, it's just a joke, but, like, again, that just doesn't tie into anything.
To which Linda then says, eventually the truth hits everyone, which is not even the title.
Yeah.
It's everybody. It's close.
And it's not a phrase.
It's not a phrase.
Yeah.
And it ends on that. Gribble's lying on the floor with concussion. No one's helping him.
I mean, to be fair, I wouldn't be rushing to fucking,
I'd still call an ambulance.
I mean, if he wasn't moving at all, yeah. Because then he might be dead.
Yeah.
But, like, generally, like, because getting knocked out's not like in the movies. If something hits your head, if you're up and moving around going, ow, like, you might still want to go to, like, maybe get an ambulance, get a lecture or something. But that's a big difference, too. Like, you're not getting up.
Yeah.
That's a fucking call.
Yeah, if you're unconscious for more than 2 minutes, that's not good.
Oh, yeah, no. One time my cousin said that, like, sleeper holds don't work. And I disagreed. And so, after a little bit of grappling, I had him in a sleeper hold. And I thought he was faking at first. So I was like, I slapped his face thinking he was going to get up. And I thought, oh, you're playing tough guy, huh? And I slapped him real goddamn hard. And then I realized that he wasn't faking. He was very much asleep. And then he trembled for a little bit. But then he woke up and he's fine. He has a kid. He's got a good life. But yeah, like, it's one of those, with the pace of the show, like, because it took me a second to even notice the fucking weird Fiona shit that didn't go anywhere. Because by the time that's happened, other things are happening, and then resolution's happening, and then you're not thinking about, oh yeah, there was like some piece that's missing. Because they're acting like the show's resolved. And you're not remembering, it's like, oh yeah, wasn't there supposed to be some kind of fucking plan? Because it's engaging in the behaviors of a TV show that has done the things that it said it was going to do, even though it didn't do them. And in a 20-minute program, you can get away with some bullshit that way. What a great, and like, it works easier in the wrap-up, but if your movie's got, like, if your movie or show has enough impetus, like, if there's enough narrative drive pushing you to the next scene quick enough, you can get away with some bullshit. Like that bit in, like, Dark Knight where, like, he meets Joker in the house, and he gets dressed as Batman and saves, like, the fucking girl from falling off the fucking, building. And then, like, it's just another scene after that. It doesn't resolve what the fuck happens with Joker with the rich people. Like, it's not even the next scene is, like, a newscaster going, they were all robbed, and there's a photo of Joker leaving. It's just like, it's just dropped. But, like, it's real easy to not even fucking notice that fucking happened because the movie's belting along to solid fucking pace, and the next scene is, like, something fairly relevant. Like, it's a good example of how much you can kind of pave over some cracks, if you're quick. This episode's just like a lot of fucking weird cracks.
The A story is just not strong enough.
I just really feel like it could have been fixed up relatively easily.
Oh, absolutely.
Gribble loves Pete. Just saying it would have worked. I'm not saying the whole series should be like some fucking bizarre...
Oh, I am. It's like the Love Boat, but there's no boat.
It's okay, yeah. Here's you pitching this show idea. Okay, so it's like the Love Boat, but more of a molestation lighthouse. 13, but I'm willing to go older.
You know, every time there's a love happening, the lighthouse activates.
You know? Look, nobody thought a sitcom would work at like a fucking Nazi POW camp. You know, like who pitches a sitcom in like the fucking, you know, medical tent of a Korean war? Like that's insane.
It actually is.
Are you telling me horny Gribble can't be a fucking situation comedy? It's a situation. It could be funny.
I need to look up and see if Mark Mitchell has acted in anything even remotely adult, or if it's only.
I feel like there's
children's
probably a lot of voice acting in ads. Probably.
The picture when you Google Mark Mitchell, the first one that comes up.
Oh fuck yeah, Con the Fruiterer.
Is amazing. Alright, let's look at his IMDb.
Because I think about that a bit, and then whenever I look it up, there's an awful lot of stage. So I feel like stage acting is like the beefy fucking component for Australian like, local actors. Which is kind of surprising, really, because, you know, who thought Australia had much of a fucking theatre scene going, but I suppose it's not like I got my finger on that particular fucking pulse.
He's been in some more adult things, but, I mean...
Adult things starring Mark Mitchell.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like, you know, if you're just a working actor, you know, if it's just like, I just, you know, feel like making some money this year and eating food, you know, it's just like, yeah, be in like 20, you know, regular fucking run of some fucking kiss show where you just basically...
He was on Neighbours.
Chew the fucking, you know, walls and go nuts.
Good for him. He's on Neighbours and Blue Heelers. Let's go. He was in Inspector Gadget 2, the movie.
Oh, yeah, the one that was, like, filmed in Brisbane.
Yeah.
And they couldn't afford Matthew Broderick, so they had French to it.
That's amazing.
He does really look like a mannequin who came to life.
I love that he was in a movie called Dog Woman, The Legend of Dog Woman.
You what now? Mark Mitchell, or...
Yeah.
Is that a kid's movie? I hope
It's M.
Oh, fuck yeah. Alright, I gotta look that up. Is it a horror movie?
Margaret O'Hallahan sets out to discover whether a dog killed a friend and mentor. To do this, O'Hallahan must delve into the dark secrets of her hometown, and what she finds suddenly turns her world upside down. It could cost her life.
It's a fucking depressing Australian drama.
Yeah. I love this. Margaret O'Hallahan can think like a dog. This is a rare gift, something many aspire to, but few can achieve. It has earned her the title of Dog Woman. What?
Oh, it's got Magda Zubanski. Okay, I think it is more of a comedy. And I think she's got lady autism, which is kind of a bummer because when that shit hits, it hits like a truck.
I need to watch this movie.
There's also a dog woman from Earth 616 in the Marvel database, and you aren't ready for what that looks like.
Please show me.
God, I should put the fucking God. I really should put the fucking save search on if I fucking do this again.
Great. I still think my favorite dog acting ever is the one where he punches the dude out.
Oh yeah, Shaggy Dog, but the Disney fucking film, and it's just clearly a short guy in a dog costume.
It was the old Shaggy Dog, not the one with Tim Allen in it.
No, the ones that I watched as a kid.
I think was it the 1959 one? No.
It had that face. It had that guy with the classic Hollywood face that they had in all the Disney movies at the time. I think it was in a bunch of the Herbies as well.
It was the Shaggy DA. That's it.
So fucking stupid.
Because it's just obviously it's a dog. It's very obviously a dog, and it cuts to obviously a man in the dog costume.
Yeah, it plants to the left and then throws a right hook in a way that, like, I know for a fact dog collarbones won't allow for. You know?
And then, like, escapes out the hole and, like, goes down a fire pole. Or is it a rope? It's a rope. I think it's a rope. I'm watching it right now. I love it. It's my favorite thing. Yeah. Like, they're like, get that dog, and then he like goes out, and it's a person. It is so it goes down the. It's one of the riggings where they're washing windows, and he slides down the rope, and it's just totally a dude. Shag DA. I can watch that.
Okay, Amber, have you ever felt like this?
I feel like Shaggy DA.
Yeah, you feel like, have you ever felt like Shaggy DA?
Yeah, I have.
Ever been on the news? Ever accidentally told the truth? Ever chucked a sickie? So that is the questions. Ever felt like this? If you're playing along at home and wish to email us, ever been on the news? Ever accidentally told the truth? So maybe sort of like a, letting a bit slip when perhaps you wish you hadn't.
Yeah.
Ever chucked a sickie? So, have you ever been on the news?
No. Just no. Actually, no. I have been in New Zealand.
But I blocked it out.
In New Zealand.
Why are we on the news in New Zealand?
Because people are mean to me. I did a stupid video when I went down to a tournament in Melbourne one day. Just like a comedy video of like, hey, get ready, Melbourne, work on me. It was really dumb. I made it with like iPhone Movie Maker.
Right.
And I knew someone who has connection to the media, and they were running a story about like tournaments on New Zealand television, and they showed that.
That's funny.
So yes, I have been on TV.
It's very funny.
Yeah.
I've been in print media interviewed for Gabe for Kata. My brother was on the...
Excuse me?
I'm sure I've told you about that.
Gabe for Kata?
Yeah, so the idea I had was because I like being able to irritate people. And one thing I really respect about the gays is if you make something gay that really annoys, then homophobes can't like it. They can't have it.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's an underutilized power, in the gay community. If you really think about that for a second, you could fuck people's lives up. And they're dipshit homophobes, so who cares? And so I thought, hey, you know what I want to see? I want to see them turn Bob Catter into a gay icon. So I came up with this gays for Catter thing. And he got asked about that.
That's great.
Yeah, and he pulled the kind of face you'd expect him to pull.
Yeah.
And then his gay fucking step nephew or something. She's like a gay nephew or something. Said it was funny. And so I fucking, I don't know, I think it was either Sky News or Channel 7 or something. He emailed me a bunch of questions. And I just responded. But yeah, that was kind of fun because that's my primary goal was to upset him.
Yeah.
And I still, again, if they were just big, A for Kata, a big fucking paper mache Bob Catter with his hat and a bunch of gays dressed up in fucking Bob Catter outfits with just chaps on so you could see the buttocks. That would really, 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 really fuck with him. And there's not really what are you gonna do? Stop liking me? You can really fuck with people that way. It doesn't work when I do it. And I just feel like that's an underutilized thing.
Absolutely.
My brother was on the local news one time when the fucking Jacaranda Festival shot a firework to a girl's head.
Amazing.
Yeah, because I didn't go that year because I just didn't want to go to a shitty version of the exhibition. And my brother was 4 years younger than me, so for him it was the Gravitron, But they're watching the fireworks, and he gets home late and he goes, "Oh, the fireworks went off wrong." And I was like, "Huh?" And literally, I'm pretty sure the video's still on, probably still online somewhere, but just they have the mortars. My brother was talking, I'm just watching it, and just one of them it's up, and then it just starts to tilt over to the left, and it's just horizontal, and it just goes, and shoots one of those fucking purple ones, just hits some fucking girl in the crowd. Luckily, because of the way it was angled, it kind of skipped along the ground. And that ate up a lot of its momentum. So it wasn't just launching like a fucking mortar shell straight into this fucking girl's face.
Yeah, he should be dead if it was straight out of the cannon.
Yeah, a friend of mine did a fucking pyrotechnician's license, and they don't give you much in the way of safety gear. And it's why is that? And it's because if a mortar shell goes off while your head's over it, a helmet won't help. It's gonna be hard to scoop you out of it. So, a lot of point there.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever accidentally told the truth?
Yes. there was this guy who was really, really seeking this woman like crazy, and she wasn't really interested.
Woman?
I don't think. But that didn't stop him because he was sad and lonely. And it wasn't creepy anyway. He wasn't being creepy or doing anything bad. Not at all.
It's just
He was just pining over this
yeah,
person.
just
And I ended up sleeping with her because we both got drunk one night and were like, let's do this. Yeah, sure. And I told him that.
oh wait, fuck
don't
her.
name-
No,
don't
I'm
name-
not
don't
going
name
to.
names,
I'm
but you
not.
know who it is.
Yeah,
You
no,
know
I
who
just
it
tried to do it. I wasn't gonna fucking do that, but
Yeah.
I just fucking played.
Yeah, you know who it is. And yeah, one night I was just like, oh, I did this, and he just goes, what? And you just see his heart break, his mind connecting dots, and I was like, I changed the subject and made it.
I'm sorry.
act
Much like her, I forgot you were there.
I changed it completely and calmed him down and twisted it that I was talking about something else. But yeah, that was
boy, he was desperate to leave.
Oh, good lord. Yeah. I think that's the only thing that really comes to mind.
Yeah, see, I don't have a huge amount for this, just on account of like things will be either trivial, so I don't care, or if like I will just say shit to people.
Yeah.
Because it's never like I think your hair's stupid, because I don't care what I think about your hair, really. You know?
Yeah.
Like ultimately, like I just don't see how it's fucking right. Even if I do think it's fucking stupid, so,
Yeah.
so what?
Yeah. What's it
You
gonna
know?
do?
Like I don't expect you to fucking rework your life around what I fucking think. And look, maybe this fucking works for you. I don't know. Go for your life. If it's something like a little more measurable, like if you've got like I don't know some big dumb haircut and you're struggling to get like retail work, it's like hey maybe it's your big dumb haircut. Fucking idiot. You thought about that? So I'm trying to think. I don't think I've ever really, Generally, whenever I get gossip, they'll be like, okay, is this like a fucking secret? Because I have to know. Because if you don't tell me it's a fucking secret, I don't know. I'm going to fucking go just immediately talk to people about it.
Yeah.
I think generally people know better than to like, I don't know, give me. And honestly, the real secrets are just like this shit you forget. Maybe because it's not as entertaining because you can't go talk to people about it. But also, it's just half the time it's not even anything interesting, really. It'll just be like some fucking stupid crush or some bullshit.
Yeah.
And like, I just fuck, so what? Feelings.
I mean, look, the internet is vastly more interesting.
Yeah, like that's the other thing. It's
so.
like, yeah, a little interpersonal gossip can be funny, but like, you're gonna be hard pressed to beat like the weird shit you see on the internet, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's tough to go from like just the variety alone,
Oh, absolutely.
Like that old lady that got like raised up by the security shutter, That was, I could talk to people, or I could look at that.
Yeah.
And I don't know which one's more interesting to me.
What was the last question?
Ever chucked a sickie?
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. Like,
The great thing about having like chronic health problems like asthma is, that's an easy one. That's just a get out of jail free card like so often. Like I could fake an asthma attack now. Like it's just too easy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I want to watch this episode of Samurai Pizza
I
Cats.
just make myself throw up. It's like, but I can't. I think all sickies I've chucked have been in moderation in the fact that I have been feeling unwell, but not unwell to the point where I shouldn't go to work or something.
Yeah, not unwell like as in actually like can't do something,
But
I
just
just really fucking don't want to. Yeah. No, there's like I kind of like wound up getting karma for all that anyway. It's just having like when you're working and you're doing like don't get paid if you don't do hours.
Yeah.
So you need to do the hours. And so if you're sick, that doesn't matter. And so just being at fucking work on a mix of fucking like Codral and cocaine and just having a really bad cold And otherwise, like, the second all that shit wears off, you get home and you're just sweating and thinking I'm gonna fucking die.
Yeah.
I mean, like, it was real. Like, it was, like, bad enough where it was, like, I couldn't even get, like, drunk that night.
Whoa.
It was just, like, I already feel like I've got a fucking 5 alarm hangover and I can't summon up the fucking energy to, like, drink. I'm just gonna lay in bed and sweat.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think, like, I don't know, the most fun sickie I ever chucked was, like, not a sickie exactly. It sort of became a sickie after